Outcast by society. A man must stand erect, not be kept erect by others. Marcus Aurelius. Men have been portrayed as beasts, strong warriors, fighters, and protectors. A woman is more humble, more grateful, more loving. Osho. Females are typically seen as being submissive, fragile, passive, nurturing, and even sophisticated. However, what happens when people do not meet these expectations? Brief overview. Through the works of American authors and one Swedish author, this paper will consider gender roles in marriage and parenthood with respect to the enforcement of women's submissiveness and passiveness, and enforcement of men's dominance and aggressiveness. Gender roles and gender discrimination will also be evaluated through a psychological and sociological perspective. Thesis statement. Gender roles dictate how males and females must conform to society standards. Males are expected to be dominant, aggressive, and strong, and females are supposed to be submissive, fragile, and passive. One way that gender roles are dictated and enforced are through novels, films, art, laws, and even the news. People who do not follow these traditional roles can be discriminated against by their communities. Literary elements. Through imagery, perception, and tone, the idea of woman's submissiveness and men's dominance will be demonstrated mainly in The Hand by Colette and A Dollhouse by Henrik. Keep in mind, tone is the general character's or author's attitude on situation. During the 1950s, Western society encouraged wives to provide comfort and support for the hardworking man. The Hand by Colette is a literature piece that demonstrates this common notion through imagery and perception. An example of imagery. The description of her husband's hand is perceived to be the image of a dominant man. As Colette stated, it's as if I were lying on some animal. The word animal can imply a dominant vibe. Her husband is like a strong animal that can take control. In A Dollhouse by Henrik, the reader learns that the husband thinks men are only good with economical standard, while women are only good with caring for the household and children. This notion was revealed through the tone and perception. An example of tone includes when Helmer stated, almost everyone who has gone to the bad early in life has had a deceitful mother. Helmer has given a negative tone towards women. Author's goal. Through the comparison and contrast of both female and male genders, both authors were able to demonstrate the gender roles that society has set. Both works demonstrated the male's dominance and aggressiveness, and female's passiveness and submissiveness. Gender discrimination. What happens when people do not meet these gender expectations? The answer is gender discrimination. Gender discrimination is a term used for unjust treatment based on gender or sex. Discrimination can take many forms. One form of discrimination includes sexual harassment. Men are perceived to be sexual and violent compared to women. Men are frequently treated unequally in sexual harassment because of this notion. In reference to Men's Stuff article, 3 areas where male victims aren't treated equally are statutory rape, sexual harassment, and spousal abuse. Another form of discrimination includes hate crime towards homosexuality. Homosexuals have faced discrimination in multitude areas, including marriage, employment, and housing. According to an article, Gays and Lesbians, earlier studies by the National Gay and Lesbian Task Force Policy Institute found widespread discrimination across the country against gay men and lesbians. As many as 44% of respondents in some cities reported employment discrimination. Conclusion. Overall, established gender roles and norms can be dangerous. It can create hate amongst people. Likely solutions for gender norms are equality amongst genders. Through the limitation of laws that differentiate genders and the changing of attitudes on gender stereotypes or roles, discrimination would end, and genders would be able to see each other equally.